Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm ill. I have the worst cold. It's kind of like flu-y, it's horrible, but I still wanted to film this video and get it done and out for you guys because no matter how ill I am, I would like to try in January in 2024 to keep on a good routine of videos for you guys and try and make them as good as I can. So if the energy is low in this video, I do apologise. Also, we're going with this angle today rather than me sat down because this is just the easiest way for me to do this. But without any further ado, we're going to skip the waffly intro and not make it any longer. Today I'm going to be going through something that's probably going to make me embarrassed, but I did buy myself books. If you don't know, 2023 I was on a year-long book buying ban with my best friend because we decided to do that and then do book advent calendars for each other rather than Christmas presents, and it was so much fun, let me tell you. But the aftermath of that is that as soon as you can buy books, what do you think I did? I have quite a lot here that I'm going to talk about, I'm not going to lie. But yes, without any further ado, we're going to get started. So I'm gonna probably kind of try and go like category by category, like genre by genre, because I think that just makes the most sense because of how I've got them like laid out on my shelf right by me. So we're gonna start with fantasy. So the first fantasy book which I bought was Never by Jessa Hastings. Now technically I bought this on the day that it was released, and then because I ordered it on Amazon it came the following day, and I was allowed to do that because it was a release that came out after we'd swapped the advent calendars, so we knew we were safe that we weren't getting this. And also I just have to say, a moment of appreciation for how gorgeous these end papers are, like stunning. I think it's so beautiful. Now I'm not gonna lie, I have heard not great things about this. I'm not actually even sure that I've heard anyone speak highly of it, so I'm a little bit apprehensive going into it, but it is on my January TBR. If you saw that video then you'll know that I picked this one out, and I do want to get to it and form my own opinions because what someone else doesn't like I could love, and vice versa. That's the joy of reading. We all read the same books, same words on paper, but they emit such different feelings in everyone. Also, I love a good Peter Pan retelling, so hopefully this will be a great start. But if I don't like it, I'm not going to judge like Magnolia Parks or anything off of the writing of this, because this is a totally different genre. Whether I like it or not, it's staying on my shelf because the cover is stunning. Okay, I wasn't anticipating talking so long about the first book, but never mind. The next ones we have, I'm not going to hold these and talk about these for long because they are heavy bricks. I got Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I was only going to get Fourth Wing and see what I thought, but it was cheaper to get both because I got all these on the works in their like really great offer deals. And so looking at the size difference, like Iron Flame is thick, and I've not heard like the best things about this one either, but I've just watched this morning Alexa Ray's video, and she said she struggled to get into it at first, but then she really loved it by the end. So I'm hoping that I'm going to love both of these. My newest edition, which has only just arrived this morning, and thank God, because I really wanted to include that in this video, and I've not heard anyone talk about it. The cover is beautiful and the story sounds so good, and that is The Immortal Games. So I saw this, first of all, look at that gold reflection, like absolutely amazing. I saw this in my local independent bookstore. I saw this in my local independent bookstore throughout like the middle of last year, but obviously I wasn't allowed to buy it at the time. So I took a photo, and then I've never seen it in there again since because I don't know if they've had it in stock or not. And it just sounds so good. It sounds a bit like Hunger Games-esque, but with gods and like a bit of, not Greek mythology as such, but look up the summary for this because it sounds really good, and I'm desperate to read it. Then I also bought Powerless because I mean everyone's been raving about this and I really wanted to see what all the hype was about, and I have a feeling that I'm probably gonna really love it, and I'm trying to get into more fantasy anyway. So fantasy with a bit of romance will probably be my best bet. And then finally, the last one for the fantasy category that I bought was Six of Crows, because my friend actually got me Crooked Kingdom for Christmas, but I didn't own Six of Crows, and I believe this one comes first, unless I'm mistaken. So yeah, I wanted to read both. I've heard it's like a heist and it sounds so good and so much fun. The crows are my favourite part of the Shadow and Bone series. Okay, now moving on to mystery thrillers. So the next one which I got, which is actually a signed copy, it's signed by the author, is the 12 Days of Murder. I just thought this sounded pretty good, to be honest. I bought it just before Christmas. I probably should save it for Christmas time to read it, or I should have read it at Christmas this year, but I had other books on my TBR. I just thought this cover caught my eye and I thought, oh, it sounds very good, so I picked this one up. Then I also, one of the ones which I went out looking for is Bright Young Women. I've heard great things about this from last year, with everyone raving about it, and obviously it did really well in the Goodreads Choice Awards. So yeah, excited to get to this, and it's probably actually going to be my next read as part of one of my big video projects that I said is on the go. So you should be able to see my thoughts and review on that one in my January wrap up. And then I spotted this one, which is Murder at Holly House. This is also a signed copy, but again it's kind of designed like a bauble, so I'm happy to keep that sticker there for now. This just sounded like so much fun, to be honest, and I wanted some more like less YA mystery thrillers and some more sort of proper ones like these. I don't really know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Then I also picked up The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman. I already owned the first two books. This was half price hardback in WH Smith, so a lot of these I got either with points that I had, or they were half price, or they were on offer, like 3 for 2 kind of things. So I didn't spend too much on all these. It was just a really coincidentally great time for me to be getting them. But so I already had the first and the second, and then I bought the fourth on the half price hardback, so of course I had to get the third. However, what really bugs me at the minute is that the fact that I have the first and the third in paperback like this, and then I have the second and the fourth in hardback. So yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way and buy like 2 more paperbacks or 2 more hardbacks to, like, I don't care that much. Like, it does bug me, but I'm not gonna go waste my money rebuying a book that I already have just in another format so it looks fine on my shelf. Then I also, another highly anticipated one that I wanted to get from last year is Murder in the Family. Guys, I love a mixed media format, and this is just exactly that, and I think I'm gonna have a great time with it. Honestly, I don't think there's gonna be anything wrong with that. Then, if you saw my video one of my videos last year, I read 3 Catherine Foxfield thrillers in a week. I believe she only had 3 out at the time, but she's come out with a new one, and the cover matches as well, and it's Getting Away with Murder, and honestly it just sounds so good. It kind of sounds a little bit like an escape room, but if you think about like The Breakfast Club, like that's kind of how they're all described on the blurb. Then I picked up Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This was in the 3 for £6 deal on the Works website, where I ordered a bunch more books because clearly what I'd already bought wasn't enough. So this was more so just to kind of fill that third slot, just to make it so I wasn't losing out on money. But also I've been very intrigued to try this one because I've heard good things anyway. And then finally, the last mystery thriller that I have from this category is Thieves Gambit with Sprayed Edges. Oh my god, I cannot wait to read this book. I almost made this my first read of 2024, but I decided against it. I chose something different. It still could have fitted into my video, like anything would have worked for the first book, but I am hoping to get to this very shortly. Okay, and so now finally moving on to romances. picked up Crossed because I was gifted Twisted for Christmas and I've read the first 3, and so I wanted the complete sort of set. The first 3 I have on Kindle, and then Twisted was a paperback, and so I picked up Crossed because I know once I've read Twisted I'm probably going to want to hop pretty soon into this one. Then a couple of hardbacks that I picked up. Obviously I had to get Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is going to be one of the reads that I read after my big video project, so probably hopefully next month I might get to this, but it's part of another big-ish video. So yeah, I needed this one and I love her writing. I want all her books anyway. And then I also picked up The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I really like Beth O'Leary's writing actually. I've read 2 of her books. I've read The Flat Share and The No Show. I still have The Road Trip on my TBR. It's been on there for a while and it's actually on my priority list for this year, so I'll probably try and read The Road Trip first, but this just sounded so good that I had to pick it up while I saw it. Then I picked up Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score, and also Things We Left Behind. Again, these were on the works. They were really cheap for what they should be. And yeah, I read Things We Never Got Over last year and I really want to finish off the series. Things We Never Got Over wasn't my favourite, but I have a feeling possibly this one might be. But I do love the couple in this, but I've heard not the best things. But I'm trying to not let other people's opinions influence my reading experience, because I'm just trying to go into it with an open mind and not hear too much about all these books before I read them. Otherwise, like I say, it does kind of impact your thoughts as you go along. Then similarly, along a similar train of thought, I picked up Heartless and Reckless by Elsie Silver. My friend gifted me Flawless for Christmas, so I wanted to have book 2 ready, and unfortunately at the time they didn't have Powerless on the offer on the works. It wasn't even on their site. But they did have Reckless, so I thought, well, I'm hoping to get through the whole series anyway, so I'll get these 2 now. And then Powerless is on there now, but Hopeless isn't, and I'm like, well, if they're going to be part of the 3 for £6 deal anyway, I may as well wait till they're both available on there and then get them then, because I know in my heart of hearts I'm not going to get through the whole series anytime soon, so it won't matter if I wait until I need the books to get the others. But whilst these were on the offer, I wanted to grab them and snap them up whilst I had the chance. And then finally, the last physical book which I have to talk about is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I absolutely adore this cover of it. I don't know what it is about the dark blue, because I believe normally it's like quite a pale pinky colour, but I love this. It's stunning. And I found it in my local independent bookstore and had to snap it up. Very, very excited for this. Heard good things, and it's something a bit different for me because I do want to try and branch out genre-wise more this year, because I've never had that many fantasies or thrillers or like general fiction. It's mostly just been romance, so I'm glad that now my shelf is stocked with a lot more variety. Like, I am fully well aware that I didn't need to buy any more books, but I just wanted, like I say, more variety on my shelf, more options to choose from, and so I thought, what's the harm? I'm going to read them all at some point anyway. If I don't buy books for like 4 months or longer, that's perfectly fine. I have enough stocked on my shelf. So the last thing that I do want to mention is that for Christmas, guys, I'm so happy and I'm so lucky. For Christmas I was gifted a Kindle. I got a Kindle for Christmas, and I'm just quickly going to talk through a couple of the books which I bought on my Kindle, because I don't want to do Kindle Unlimited, because I think with the amount of physical books that I have and I prefer to read physically, Kindle Unlimited seems like it would be a big waste for me to pay like however much a month to, yes, have almost an unlimited supply of books that I can read on there, but why would I want to when I'm happy enough to just buy certain books as and when I want them. So on my Kindle I bought The Love Wager, Betting on You, those both by Lynn Painter because I was desperately wanting them, and then I also got Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. I bought the remainder that I didn't have of the Eden series, and I believe that's all I bought actually. I think all the rest of these are from Prime Reading. So that's all that I bought on my Kindle, so I didn't go too overboard on there yet. Yet being the operative word. Okay, so that's pretty much all the books that I have to show you. I do quickly want to show you 2 special editions that I picked up towards the end of last year. These are books that I've already read and that I really enjoyed, and I saw these gorgeous special editions in my local independent bookstore and knew that I had to snap them up. Like, oh god, honestly, they're so pretty. But the first special edition is this gorgeous Shatter Me. Like, look at that. And then it has the back and the sprayed edges, and I believe this one, yes, is actually signed as well, so that's amazing. So that is my first special editions, and I never normally buy special editions, and I didn't want to, but because it was my birthday and I had some money, and I was like, well, technically it's not breaking the book buying ban because I've already got these and I've already read them. So I felt very lucky that it all sort of worked out, that with my birthday money I could go and buy them. And then I got a Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Guys, look how stunning this cover is. The red and silver reflective. Like, oh my gosh, this is just so beautiful. And then even the edges, but it's gorgeous. I don't think this one is signed, but it has like gorgeous end papers. It has like a little note, a dear reader note, but it's not like signed, I don't think. So yes, those are my 2 fabulous special editions, and yeah, that concludes this video. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing all the unnecessary amount of books which I bought. I am really happy looking at my shelves now to see the more diverse selection that I have, because literally the only fantasy that I had remaining at the end of last year was ACOTAR, which I still have yet to get to, and then I didn't have that many murder mysteries or thrillers at all, so I'm very happy that it's now well stocked and I have a lot of variety and choice. So yeah, hope you're looking forward to seeing reader vlogs for all of these, because I will try my best to vlog everything that I read this year, because I didn't do so well with that last year. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff you guys know how to do, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll see you in another one very soon.